hosting the great Eddie Spaghetti from the Supersuckers. Hello, Eddie. So, let's see if Eddie is online. Hey,
Hello,
hello, man.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
All
you
right,
can you hear
roger.
me?
I
Well,
can.
all right. Hi, Eddie, and welcome to our live stream.
Right
How is
on. Thanks for having me.
how is going in America? Because of fucking COVID-19, in Italy, things have been quite difficult in the last month.
Yeah, everything sucks. People
Yeah,
here are so stupid. First of all, I can't believe that that many people voted to have this president all those years ago. And
yeah.
now we're faced with this awful situation where nobody can work. I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to work again. I mean, for me to be able to work, it's going to require people willing to get too many people into too small a space and get all in each other's space. And I don't see any end to it anytime soon. So I don't know. It's ugly.
Everything sucks, like a great Descendant album.
Yeah, everybody knows that everything sucks. You got to work too hard for too few bucks.
Yeah, yeah. And fuck you, Trump. I hate Donald Trump.
Oh my God, he's the worst. He's the living embodiment of a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know that Joe Biden is any going to be any better, but at this point, uh, I would vote for a bowl of tomato soup or a can of beans over Donald Trump.
you can see a great opportunity for USA for great Bernie Sanders, but
Right. That would have been a much better choice for sure.
yeah, but maybe again in for the next years, I hope again.
He's going to be way too old then. He'll be in his 80s by then. So we'll just have to hope for somebody else to come along.
Yeah, yeah. Due to the virus, part of your tour is support of play that rock and roll, which kick ass. Really, I really like this record. Yeah, has been cancelled, unfortunately. How easy is it to know that for some time you won't be able to perform live?
It's really hard. It's hard to figure out how to, keep the lights on at the house. It's not like we're getting any, I haven't got a single dime from the government. Being a self-employed guy like I am, my income is hard to verify, and it's hard to keep up on all that sort of stuff. So it's uh it's a challenge for sure. And the biggest thing is just not knowing when it's going to end. You think, oh, they're starting to reopen, things must be getting better, but things are not getting better. Things are actually getting worse. So it's a real struggle to not let the stress of it get to you every day.
Did this period push you to write new songs for your possible new solo record or maybe for the next Super Suckers records?
Yeah, I'm always kind of making up songs, and for me the process has always been uh, make a new record, go out and tour on that record, and get sick of playing those songs, and then that kind of fuels my desire to play new ones. Well, this system that I you normally use has been cut off because of the virus, so I'm not sick of the new songs yet, and I'm just now kind of starting to feel the urge to write new material. And usually, for me to make up good songs, I have to be kind of in a good space. Like I tend to not write from a negative mindset very often. And so it's been another challenge for me to feel that creative urge and also feel all this stress and angst about, what's going to happen next.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking about 20 years ago, together with Eddie Vedder, you recorded for the West Memphis 3 a great cover of Poor Girl, a great anthem wrote by X. How did the collaboration start, or did you record the other cover for that project?
Well, I'm not quite sure how we just settled on doing the song by X. I know that we got in touch with Eddie in order to get him aware of this problem with the West Memphis 3, because we knew that he would feel compelled to help and get involved, because we just knew he was such a good guy, and we just felt as though this cause would be right up his alley, and it was for sure. And he wound up being probably the most pivotal resource that those guys had while they were in prison still. And just knowing that he was so on board in that has been such a blessing for them. But I think that we chose that song because Billy Zoom was in town.
Wow.
He was recording, or he was producing something for somebody else, I believe. And we were able to snag Billy and have him produce these tracks for us. And Eddie, we were recording at Pearl Jam studio a lot back in those days. So we were there, and he was there, and it just sort of happened. And I remember it was super cool to just to watch him work. And but the real cool thing about recording with Eddie Vedder was that he's a good ping pong player, and I'm a good ping pong player. And he was a little bit better than I was, and that was so maddening, you know. But it's great to have somebody that can challenge you. And you know, I don't know why I'm such a good ping pong player, but and I never been to rehab, so there's no real good reason for it. But I like to think of myself as an excellent ping pong player, and all the guys in Pearl Jam are really good ping pong players because they have like a ping pong table set up in their backstage. When we went on tour with them, every night they're playing ping pong, and yeah, it was super fun. I love that little game.
Good story. And
Yeah.
ping pong player every time.
Yeah, I love me some ping pong.
Yeah, I really like ping pong.
Yeah, it's a great game, and you know, people kind of make fun of it because you know it's a little tiny rackets and this little table, but it's pretty physical and it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, true. And Supersucker, the greatest rock and roll band in the world, have toured with Pearl Jam several times. Do you have any particular memories of the show you play with them?
Yeah, I remember we were doing a tour with them in Canada, and we were playing these big giant hockey rinks, and we would go on first, and you know there wasn't they weren't full yet when we started, but by the end of our show it was pretty full. And I remember I had my young son with me at the time. He was maybe 6 or 7 years old, something like that. Maybe even younger. Maybe he was 4 or 5. I can't remember. But he would come up on stage sometimes and just, you know, get the crowd going by throwing up his horns. And he came up, and Eddie Vedder came up and sang a song with us at one point on the tour, and came up, and he had this sort of lucha libre Mexican wrestling mask on. And he took it off and he put it on my son, and it was such a cool thing. And we still have the mask. I could go grab it right now. I probably should have had it ready, but it's a cool thing.
Awesome, awesome, really awesome. Rocking in the Free World. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Rocking in the Free World. That's right.
Yeah. I remember the video. I saw the video some years ago from that tour.
Yeah, that was real fun.
Good. Speaking about Ed Vedder, the Ramones cover, I believe in Miracles, was released a few days ago and was recorded with Vedder 5 years ago at the Tractor Tavern in Seattle. I read that Eddie gave you a big help for your health problems. Would you like to tell us something more about the period?
Well, yeah, it was kind of a dark time for me personally. I had just been diagnosed with throat cancer, and my future was super uncertain at that moment, and nobody knew what the end result was going to be. But Eddie came out to a show that we were playing in Seattle. It was the last show of that tour before I was about to go and have all my surgeries and whatnot. And I was booked to go to this kind of a, I don't know if it wasn't the best place, let's just put it that way. And he totally steered me into a direction of these great doctors, and got me hooked up with this awesome hospital outside of Los Angeles. And he just completely refocused my attention on not just getting through it quickly, which is what I was thinking I would do. I would just go, they would just cut it out and I would be back to work in a month. And he's like, no, you got to take it slow, because this is your voice you're talking about. You know, this could be something that winds up being real serious, and you might not even be able to speak again, much less sing. So I took his advice and wound up with the best care that was available to anybody. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know that I'd be here talking to you right now. So I owe him everything.
Yeah. Beautiful story. Do you think it's time to play some fucking rock and roll?
Sure. I'll be happy to play a little rock and roll for you.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I'd rather choose my soul to lose than leave around just one confused and loose desire. Don't know if I'll ever learn. Can't wait till I get my turn to burn in the eternal hellfire. I'm waiting for my last ride while the bugle of my backside blows a bluesing beat. Hope I don't run out of gas. Bet my sacrilegious ass. Ain't nothing out there that scares me. Oh yeah, and you know I'm in league with Satan, and you know there can be no debating my hellbound trail. I was born with a tail. I'm evil and I run free. There's molten leather in me. Let's get the hell. Got the goods, brother, bring it on. My mother gun brought me up wrong, and you can use my dick for a walking stick as well. I'm not sure what that means. I just think it's funny. Oh, and you know I'm in league with Satan, and you know there can be no debating my hellbound trail. I was born with a tail. All right, Mom. All right, come on. Yeah. That's a big rock solo right there.
Yeah.
I can't do it, so I'm just one guy. All right. Well, it's time to fly the finger. That middle digit brings your point and it drives it home. On my head, there's no crown of thorns. This evil scout has earned his home. Come on, I'll hop on top of your mom before I go. Oh, yeah, 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 you know I'm in league with Satan, and you know there can be no debating my hellbound trail. I was born with a tail. I'm on a hellbound trail. Born with a tail. That's right now. Good night now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cha,
Yeah.
cha, cha.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
There you go. Thank you, my man.
I really like every fucking Supersuckers album.
Right on.
And
Yeah,
I also love your solo album.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's I put out a lot of songs over 30 years, I guess, and I'm glad because I've been doing these things from my living room where I just pick a song from the catalog and I tell a little story about it and I play it for them, just me. And I'm lucky I have so many of them because this thing has gone on a lot fucking longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. I saw you on Instagram and I buy it from Bandcamp, bootleg from that session, from Living Room session.
Oh yeah,
And
right on. Yeah.
yeah, it's a great fucking thing. I really
Yeah.
like
Thanks.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Do you
just
wanna?
like this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you wanna play another song?
All right.
All right.
All right. Here's another true story song for you. She's got a man on the side. Yeah, she's with him today. And I probably won't die. But it sure feels that way. And I used to be strong. I used to be tough. And she used to be pretty. But now she's just pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up. Oh, pretty fucked up now. Well, she used to be pretty, but now she's just pretty fucked up. Now I know people change. Sometimes that's good, and some people don't. Well, maybe they should. Right now that don't help me. I might just throw up, 'cause it sure does feel shitty when things just get pretty fucked up. Oh, pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up now. Well, she used to be pretty, but now she's just pretty fucked up. All right, let's go. Now a long time ago, I made her feel this way, and I begged her forgiveness. Yeah, I begged her to stay. When she said that she loved me, it made me feel good. Oh, it made me feel giddy. Now I feel pretty fucked up. Oh, pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up now. Well, she used to be pretty, but now she's just pretty fucked up. Oh, pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up now. Oh, she used to be pretty, but now she's just pretty fucked up. Yeah, she used to be pretty, but now she's just pretty fucked up. Oh, pretty fucked up. Yeah, pretty fucked up. Cha cha cha. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome, Eddie. You played
Thank you, man.
two of my three favorite Supersucker songs ever.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was a pleasure to have you as a special guest on our live stream. And some months ago, you should have played near my hometown in Parma, a city, because I live between Bologna and Milan. Supposed to play in Parma, and hope to see you on the road again very, very soon.
Yeah, we hope to be on the road too, so hopefully we'll be back.
I really hope so. And thanks for this. And you're the man.
Thanks, brother. Cheers.
Cheers. See you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So here we go. And I greet Eddie Spaghetti. I really, it's fucking amazing. You must buy every fucking